A left-wing coalition has won the most seats in the second round of France's high-stakes parliamentary elections. According to the final results, the new Popular Front alliance, formed just 3 weeks ago, won 182 seats. 289 seats are needed for a majority in the 577-seat National Assembly. President Emmanuel Macron's centrist Ensemble coalition came in second with 168, while the far-right National Rally, widely tipped to win after coming out on top in the first round, finished with 143 seats. The leader of France Unbowed, the largest party in the winning coalition, said the result was a clear rejection of Macron and that the president should call on the new Popular Front to govern.
Le président doit s'incliner et admettre cette défaite sans tenter de la contourner de quelque façon que ce soit. Le Premier ministre doit s'en aller. En effet, il n'a jamais reçu la confiance de l'Assemblée nationale. Il vient de diriger la campagne perdue par son camp et il a reçu un vote de défiance populaire massif.
President of the far-right National Rally, Jordan Bardella, blamed his party's failure at the polls on what he called the alliance of dishonor.
Priver des millions de Français de la possibilité de voir leurs idées portées au pouvoir ne sera jamais un destin viable pour la France. Ce soir, en assumant délibérément de paralyser nos institutions, Emmanuel Macron n'a pas simplement poussé le pays vers l'incertitude et l'instabilité.
Prime Minister Gabriel Attal said he would tender his resignation to Macron on Monday morning, saying tonight a new era begins. This is uncharted territory for modern France, which has never experienced a parliament with no dominant party. Macron has several options, including seeking a deal with the moderate left to create a joint government, or naming a government of experts unaffiliated with political parties to handle the day-to-day work of keeping France running. His office has said he would wait for the new National Assembly to take shape before taking the necessary decisions.
Despite the National Rally's surprising third place in the second round of the French legislative elections, its party leaders are still refusing to qualify it as a defeat. According to Marine Le Pen, the historic leader of the far-right party, this is only a deferred victory, claiming that this sets up the National Rally for what she believes is a solid chance at victory in the upcoming 2027 French presidential elections. Sofia Katsatkova reporting from Paris for Euronews.
The UK's Foreign Secretary David Lammy has said Westminster's commitment to Ukraine is ironclad. Lammy was speaking in Hobielin after meeting his Polish counterpart Radosław Sikorski, where the two ministers discussed security issues ahead of next week's NATO summit in Washington. They stressed both countries were prepared to provide long-term support to Ukraine, with Lammy saying that the UK took its commitment to Ukraine and NATO very, very seriously indeed.
And of course, what I think will be achieved over the coming days is that we demonstrate to Putin that we are there for the long haul and that the finances to support Ukraine financially, militarily, and in terms of aid are there, and that the alliance is firm and, very importantly, united.
Sikorski said NATO leaders would present a united front at the 75th summit in Washington, saying Poland is a frontrunner in terms of helping Ukraine.
Więc potwierdzimy, że jesteśmy najpotężniejszym sojuszem w historii i że los Ukrainy jest w naszym żywotnym interesie, a najlepsze, co Putin mógłby zrobić, to wycofać się z katastrofalnego, zbrodniczego błędu, jaki popełnił.
Lammy's whirlwind first trip as Foreign Secretary, which also saw him visit Germany and Sweden, aims to reset ties between the UK and the EU. And a reset was also on the agenda for Keir Starmer, who is visiting all 4 constituent nations of the United Kingdom. In Scotland on Sunday, which Starmer billed as an immediate reset with the devolved governments, he said he would seek to improve the UK's trade deal with the European Union, which he called botched.
Viktor Orbán's right-wing group, the Patriots of Europe, have gained crucial support in the European Parliament. Denmark's People's Party and Belgium's Vlaams Belang are the most recent to join the Patriots of Europe after leaving the ID group, giving the new European parliamentary group crucial support in pushing numbers to 29 MEPs, meeting the EU's recognition threshold. Marine Le Pen is expected to merge with the Patriots, leaving the future of the ID in jeopardy. Orbán announced the creation of the Patriots for Europe on June 30th, along with Austria's Freedom Party and the Czech Republic's ANO. The Netherlands' Party of Freedom, Portugal's Chega, and Spain's Vox have also joined within the last week. With Patriots of Europe, Orbán aims to lead the EU's hard right and become the fourth largest group within the European Parliament.
At least 16 Palestinians, mostly women and children, have been killed in an Israeli strike on a United Nations-run school in Gaza, which was being used as a shelter for displaced people. More than 75 were injured in the attack on the Al-Jaouni school in the Nusayrat refugee camp. Many of the wounded were taken to the Al-Aqsa Martyrs Hospital, the main medical facility in central Gaza. Israel's military released more footage of troops purportedly operating in the Gaza City district of Shijaya. Troops have returned to the neighborhood months after the IDF said it had completed its operations in the area. Ground fighting has raged there for the past 2 weeks, forcing tens of thousands of people to flee. Meanwhile, a lack of clean water and personal hygiene materials is causing a spike in the spread of infectious diseases among the displaced population. The World Health Organization says that incidents of respiratory infection, diarrhea and jaundice were all at levels far surpassing previous years.
The Pope urged his followers to pray for peace in Ukraine and Palestine. He addressed thousands gathered for the closure of the Italian Catholic Social Week in Trieste, telling followers to have no fear and never to compromise on human dignity.
Da questa città rinnoviamo il nostro impegno a pregare e operare per la pace, per la martoriata Ucraina, per la Palestina e Israele, per il Sudan e il Myanmar e ogni popolo che soffre per la guerra.
The Pope also discussed the global state of democracy and its functioning. He said he was concerned about the small number of people voting, stressing its importance in the democratic process. He described indifference as a cancer to democracy and a non-participation. Cities around Europe are taking measures one after the other to combat overtourism. For the last 2 years, this issue has also plagued the Greek city of Athens. A few years ago, the goal was to have tourists in Athens year-round. Now the goal has been achieved, but at what cost? Experts say we need to have rules to regulate tourism levels.
Πλέον έχουν καταληφθεί αρκετές περιοχές της Αθήνας και της Αττικής γενικότερα. Χαρακτηριστικό παράδειγμα είναι το Κουκάκι, μια περιοχή, πανέμορφη περιοχή που έχει μεταμορφωθεί σε ένα μεγάλο οικοδομικό τετράγωνο βραχυχρόνιας μίσθωσης, έναν τόπο φιλοξενίας ξένων μόνο, δεν υπάρχουν πια οικογένειες, δεν υπάρχουν μαθητές στα σχολεία.
Η Αθήνα υποδέχθηκε το 2023 περισσότερους από 7 εκατομμύρια τουρίστες και αυτή τη χρονιά ο αριθμός αυτός αναμένεται να αυξηθεί σύμφωνα με τους ειδικούς κατά 20%, κάνοντας την εικόνα της άδειας Αθήνας τον Αύγουστο μακρινό παρελθόν. Η αύξηση αυτή επηρεάζει πολλούς τομείς της κοινωνικής ζωής της πόλης και όχι πάντα θετικά.
Renting prices have skyrocketed all around Athens, particularly in districts with decent access to public transport, which serves to attract tourists. The co-founder of a real estate solutions company says it's all about offer and demand.
Στο κομμάτι της ενοικίασης, όντως υπάρχει ένα πολύ μεγάλο πρόβλημα προσφοράς ακινήτων. Γιατί εκεί η ζήτηση για την ενοικίαση είναι πενταπλάσια από την προσφορά.
Barcelona recently took measures against short-term renting. Athens wants to take it a step further by considering a more holistic approach.
Όλη αυτή η προσπάθεια του τουρισμού αφήνει πολύ λίγα στην πόλη. Σκεφτείτε ότι ο κάθε επισκέπτης αφήνει στην πόλη 0,4 ευρώ κατά κεφαλήν. Όχι τη μέρα, συνολικά. Και μάλιστα αυτά τα λεφτά δεν τα έχουμε πάρει ακόμα και έχει φτάσει Ιούλιος. Τι θέλω να πω με αυτό? Θέλω να πω ότι πρέπει να βρούμε έναν τρόπο να γίνει με βιώσιμο τρόπο, έτσι ώστε να μην δημιουργεί μια επιπλέον ενίσχυση των ανισοτήτων στην πόλη.
More and more people are flocking to an annual Spanish horse festival celebrating what they describe as the noble confrontation between man and horse. The festival dates back to the 15th century and is held every year in the first week of July.
Venimos, sí, nos gusta mucho todos los años. Yo vengo desde pequeñita y ahora a mi hijo pues también le encanta y repetimos, ¿verdad? Siempre.
Impresiona, impresiona. De verlo por la tele a verlo en directo impresiona. Pero es muy bonito y la tradición es bonita. Y por lo que es, por el motivo que es, por cuidar a los caballos, muy bien, muy bien. La verdad es que muy bien.
At the celebration, young people from Sabucedo and its surrounding area head to the mountains at dawn. Their goal is to find wild horses living in the area, bring them back to the village and cut their manes. When night falls, attendees come together to enjoy food, music and wine.